again, detoxers. Welcome to day 3 of your 10-day detox. I promise things should start looking up after today. Day 3 I find is usually the hardest day, at least it's the end of the hard days. There's sugar cravings and the caffeine withdrawal, all of that should start to subside by day 4, so hopefully by tomorrow things will be looking up. I wanted to talk a little bit today about sugar and refined grains and the negative effects of them on your body. They're one of the main things that you're avoiding during this detox, and one of the biggest issues, I think, with the standard American diet. So, the reason sugar and refined grains are so terrible for the body is, well, there's a number of reasons, but here's a few of them. Basically, what we're doing when we refine grains and when we refine sugar, we're taking away all the nutrition and all of the fiber, everything that the plant originally had that was good, and we're stripping it away, leaving it with it to be just carbohydrates or just sugar. So this is really, really hard on our bodies for a number of reasons. For one, which I kind of touched on yesterday, when we take these refined grains and refined sugars into our body without nutrition, what we end up doing is really spiking our blood sugar. So we get this spike, and then we get the crash, and then we kind of do this cycle over and over and over every day for, years on end. And this is the type of diet that can actually lead to type 2 diabetes, so something we definitely want to avoid. Now, I'll explain a little bit about the refining of grains and what that means. So I'll talk a little bit about refined grains and sugar and how that affects our body. I'm going to use brown rice as an example, but pretty much they all are more or less the same, and sugars are utilized in the same way as refined grains in our body, so we can kind of talk about them at the same time. So if you take brown rice, for example, brown rice in nature comes in its perfect little package. There's 3 main parts. You've got the bran around the outside, the main portion, which is called the endosperm, and then the germ at the bottom. So bran is where all the fiber is and a lot of the B vitamins. So B vitamins are our energy spark plugs. They're also really important for digestion. Also, the germ is full of fat-soluble nutrition, so your vitamin A and E, typically, and then the endosperm, which is what's left when we refine into white rice. So the endosperm is pretty much just carbohydrates and a little bit of protein. So what we did here is we taken away everything that was fantastic about this food and left the sugar with no nutrition. The reason it was originally done is for shelf stability. So this actually makes food more shelf stable, so we don't have to worry about it going bad. It was not done for health purposes. It also helps cook faster too. So these are not health reasons why this was done. Anyways, so when we take away all the nutrition and everything that's good about this food, when we ingest it, our bodies almost don't know what to do with it. When we take in food with fiber, fiber holds food in our stomach for longer, so we slow the release of sugar into the bloodstream. So we don't get that spike and crash leading to type 2 diabetes. And if we take in food with nutrition, our bodies require nutrition to break down and digest and absorb food. So if we take in carbohydrates with no nutrition, then our body needs to steal that nutrition from somewhere. So we end up, maybe taking some calcium from the bones, or we'll take what we need from the muscles or wherever, and we actually end up more depleted than before we ate that food to begin with. So this is the negative side effects of anything refined. So not only are we spiking our blood sugar, we are also leaving our body in a worse state than before we ate. So cravings are going to start to go crazy because our body's going to go, I need that nutrition. Another really important issue with refined grains and sugar is that they feed the bad yeast and the bad bacteria in the gut. So those are so important for us to prevent disease and actually they can help produce nutrition for us as well. They produce B vitamins in the gut. So if we get an imbalance of good to bad bacteria, we get these bad yeast and these bad bacteria that crave sugar because that's what they feed off of. So we can actually crave more sugar the more bad bacteria we get. So these first 3 days of detox, this is when the bad bacteria is really going nuts. They're going, feed me, feed me, feed me, and you're trying to avoid, any sugar. So usually this is going to start to go away, hopefully. I find personally 3 days no sugar is usually enough to kind of make the cravings subside anyways. Sugar is an extremely, extremely addictive substance, and it's definitely one of the things I think we should be avoiding completely. That's refined sugar anyways. Natural sources of sugar like unpasteurized honey, maple syrup, dried fruits like dates, and using those things in moderation are okay, depending on certain conditions of the body and whatnot. But still, a little bit of those non-refined sugars are going to provide nutrition, are going to provide fiber as well, so you're not going to have the same negative effect on your body. Anyways, so tomorrow we'll get to talking a little bit about fats and why I think fats are a fantastic thing to include in your diet. And fat does not necessarily make you fat. I think sugar is more the problem with leading to excess fat in the body, because if our bodies think stealing nutrition is too much work to use the energy, then we're just going to store it as fat. So we take in sugar. Oftentimes it just we spike our blood sugar, we deplete nutrition, and then we store the rest as fat. So fat doesn't make you fat. Sugar can make you fat. Anyways, sugar substitutes are not ideal either. A lot of the sugar substitutes, like artificial sweeteners, are very toxic to the brain. And just toxic to our bodies. They're chemicals that we absolutely do not need in our diet. So anything diet sodas, diet, sugar-free yogurts and things that have aspartame and Splenda, please avoid those as well. Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow on fats. Good luck.